There are activities in the HHG4M course that ask you to post your responses to the ePortfolio. I'm going to show you how to use the ePortfolio within the course environment. So first of all, let me go to Module 2 and just show where you might be asked to use the ePortfolio. So under Module 2, Explore, and we're looking at 2.11 has you analyzing the theories of Freud and Erikson. And you're asked to revisit the exploratory activities after you've done your readings and your chart on those two theories. And beside the activity, there's an ePortfolio icon. Now, when you click it, unfortunately, the instructions come up in French, but it basically tells you to respond in your ePortfolio. So, for instance, for this question, it says, what aspects of Sigmund Freud's theory is depicted here? And they give you an image, and they want you to think about the theories of Freud and what aspects of the theory of Freud is contained within this image. So you might do that by keeping some notes in a Google document, for instance. If you have a document and you maybe copy and paste the question into that document. So I'm going to copy this question and I'm going to paste it over here in a Google document that I've created. You won't be able to use this link, so just remove it. And if you don't like how the text is highlighting, you can highlight those letters, go to the font tool, go to highlight, and say none, and that will take away the highlighting. So after you've analyzed the picture and you write your response, and you copy and paste the second question, and again write your response, you're now ready to post to your ePortfolio. Now there is a couple of ways you could do that. You could share the link in the ePortfolio, or you might just want to copy and paste what you have written here. If you are going to use the link option, you will need to go to Share, Get Shareable Link, and then check here that anyone at DSB1 can view. So copy that link and exit. And now we'll return to the course environment and I will show you what to do in ePortfolio once you have your responses completed in a Google document. It is a good idea to use a Google document first because it's constantly saving as you're doing your work, so there's no chance of losing anything. Okay, so now I'm going to ePortfolio. The first time you come here, it will pop up this message about explaining how it's a tool for storing, organizing, and reflecting on your learning. So there's all types of artifacts that you can collect here that sort of document your learning as you go. So within the course, it's getting you to reflect on those questions and put your responses so that later you can go back and look at how your thinking has changed over time and to sort of reflect on how your perspective has changed as a result of experiencing the content of this course. So note that you can also give sharing permission. So you might give sharing permission to your teacher or possibly to other students. But I'm just going to show you right now how to set it up for yourself so that you can go back and reflect on your objects. I don't believe at any time in this course you're asked to share it with your peers. You may want to share it with your teacher at some point. So the first thing you want to do is go to New Collection. Give the collection a name. So it makes sense to call it HHG4M Notes. You don't really need to put a description or tags on it. We just need this heading so that we can assign anything you do in this course to that collection. It sort of collects all your individual artifacts together. I saved. If you go into your collection and you add a reflection or you add a comment, it gets specifically attached to this collection. So you can hit add reflection, and here you could say 2.11 responses. And if we use the link method, we can insert the link here, say a Google document of my responses. If you highlight the words Google document, we can put an attractive looking link in here. Click Insert Quick Link. Choose URL. We already have the title Google document because we just highlighted it. Paste the link. I like to say open in a new window so it doesn't navigate me away from the course environment. Insert. Now we have a nice link that goes to that Google document. Here it says allow others to add or view comments if they have sufficient permission. You can leave that checked off because we haven't given anyone else permission. Click Add. And so now under Reflection, you have your responses for the 2.1.1 exploratory activities. Now, maybe I should have named that better. So if I decide I want to add something, I can click the pencil to edit. And I can go back to the heading and go exploratory responses and save it again. Before I save, I want to show you that there is an option to add other items to it here. Save. I'm going to return now to ePortfolio, the main page. Another thing you can do, instead of specifically going into your collection, so you see your collection is here, your musing or your thought or reflection is here, you can directly add a reflection here. So I'm going to do it again, 2.11 exploratory responses. And I'm not suggesting you actually do this twice, I'm just showing you two different ways to do it. And maybe instead I decide I want to copy and paste my responses. So I copied from the Google document and I'm going to paste it in here and I'm going to say add to ePortfolio. So it says exploratory responses and it actually gives a little more of that sentence there. Note here that the Google document link isn't active unless I go into that and then I can click the Google document link. I think I like the Google document approach better than copying and pasting. You see it's not as nice to read. I guess it's okay once you open it up. I don't really like what it did with the title though. I could go back into the title and edit. It kind of predicted a title for me when I used the quick box that is on the ePortfolio page. I'll save again. And you can see it's a little easier to read. So you have all the tools like as if you were writing in any kind of what you see is what you get text editor. So note that you can bold things, you can change the color, you can add links, you can change the font size. You can even add comments later if you wish on your own items. Maybe you have a thought later you'd like to add to it and you can do that. So basically each time you see that ePortfolio icon, you can complete the work in a Google document and then post your work here. Now notice that when I added this last item, it didn't save it into that collection. Notice that the drop-down arrow gives me some options. It allows me to add it to a collection. So if I say add to collection, I would then choose, right now we only have one collection, and say add it. If I wanted to share it with someone, I can go to share and it opens sharing options. And if I say add users and groups, it actually brings up everyone that's in everyone in the school board. So you can search from here for who you want. So maybe you want to search for your teacher and click on her name and say share. And now she can see it over her portfolio as well. So I hope this helps you in using ePortfolio. You are welcome to ask further questions in the class Q&A.